Just another Monday morning. Coffee's brewing, sun is rising. Got some stories up my sleeve about this crazy life I lead. Welcome to the Brentocast, where each week flies by so fast. Pull up a chair and stay a while. Life's better with a smile.
So, a little bit different format today. I thought what I might do is sort of summarize what I'm doing for weight loss, since enough people have asked. In essence, I realized that I was well over 100 pounds and maybe as much as 140 or 50 pounds overweight a couple years ago. So I decided to set out to lose all this weight. You know, actually the idea was 50 for 50. I was going to lose 50 pounds for my 50th birthday, so that would have been 5 years ago. I thought, hey, if I'm at least around 300, that'll be bearable. I'm not trying to go back to war with my hobbies like jujitsu or my other athletic stuff, but you know, I thought it'd be great if I could just lose the weight, so I'd feel kind of like I used to in my 40s. Unfortunately, I approached trying to lose the weight the same way that I would have in my 40s, which seemed to work back then, which was a combination of a workout and just avoiding some high carbs and sugar as much as possible. Sugar has become so detrimental to me, like I absolutely just have to avoid it at all costs. If I have a couple of spoonfuls of ice cream a month, that's okay. Any more than that, there are absolutely repercussions that I'm going to feel. And carbonated drinks, forget about it. Can't have those at all. So anyway, I lost the weight. I probably lost as much as 28 pounds, and then I would gain back 8 pounds, and so on and so forth. And this went on for several years, and I'd get frustrated with it, and I'd just forget about it for a while. And I'd look, and then boom, I'd be back up to 346 or 348. I'd get really upset, do some sort of extreme diet or detox, probably get sick from a detox and just get disgusted with the whole thing. Detoxes don't work for me like I use some folks. I have a lot of difficulty sticking to them, I guess because of my size and the fact that I can't just sit around. I have stuff to do. And when I try to do that stuff on not enough calories, I would get headaches. Even though my day's not super physical, there's just things I have to get up and go do. And at my size, you just run out of energy. So the first thing you do when you run out of energy is just on instinct, I guess, is to just go for carbs. But none of those things kept the weight off. And it was just kind of a continual seesaw until this year. Back in November of 2024, I decided, hey, I got to do something. My mom's just had this stroke this year. And frankly, I don't want to end up like her. She's unable to use her left side, and it's really affected her quality of life. She's now living in a rest home, primarily because she's not able to stand up and put herself in a wheelchair to go to the bathroom or whatnot with just half of her muscles. She's over 100 pounds overweight. If she weren't, she'd still be at home as opposed to being in a rest home, just miserable with life and the whole situation, having to wear a diaper, and she just can't lift herself with one half of her strength. So I realized I don't ever want to be in that particular circumstance. I've had other friends that have had strokes and, you know, not obvious situations where they were like massively overweight like I am, just where they just had strokes. And so I thought, gosh, man, here I am, relatively healthy for my size, but I got to do something. So in addition to trying to pay attention to cholesterol and blood pressure and sugar, as far as I know, I don't have a problem with any of those. I don't want to have a problem with any of those. So I set about to lose this 50 pounds, at least, you know, again. And I thought, let me go ahead and talk to somebody, a professional. So I found somebody who was recommended to me, and I went there, and the guy was 54 and one of the leanest people that I have ever met as far as men of comparable size to me. So of course, you know, when he talks, I know he knows what he's talking about. So in a nutshell, he suggested that we use what he called a cheat code to get some of the weight off of me, to make it easier for me to work out and work harder. And that's sort of the approach that we went to. Now, he warned me up front. He's like, you might not like this, but again, this is a cheat code to melt fat off of you. And it's funny because I hadn't even mentioned fasting, but he said, "How do you feel about fasting?" And I thought, well, I've done it before. It wasn't that bad. Of course, I wasn't doing it at the level I am now. And I had lost a little bit of weight with it in the past, but now it's all over Facebook and everything. It's trying to monetize the idea of this eating window. If you know when your eating window is, you can eat and you'll still lose weight. And that is actually true, but it's really about monetization. And they try to make it sound a little bit lighter weight than it is, pun intended, because really it's not so much about the restrictive diet, at least in my case. Now, again, 55 years old, at least 150 pounds overweight. So as I began to fast, per the parameters this gentleman suggested, which was, I believe, initially he said at least 12 hours, and then it was 14 hours, and okay, at least 16 hours. I just kept having no trouble with the fast, so we kept raising it, and I got to where 18 hours is my minimum. So for 45 days now, 46 days as of today, I've been fasting at least 18 hours. And then whatever I eat, I have found I fill up or sort of tops out. As long as I don't go crazy on some sort of salad with super rich dressing or something like that. Because you can get up to 2,200 calories with something like that. If you go to Applebee's and just pick one of their super indulgent salads, you're looking at 2,200 calories, in which case you wouldn't lose weight that day unless you worked out. So for me, I am aiming for 1,000 calories. I can have a ribeye steak, broccoli, and coleslaw for that, and I will always be at at least 1,000 calories, maybe more, of a deficit. I'm sort of guesstimating that I probably need to burn about 2,200 calories a day. So if I keep it around 1,000 or 1,100, I am at a calorie deficit of about 900 calories. And that seems to be pretty good for me as far as how fast the weight comes off. So, beyond that, I'm going to talk about the workouts. So, how many times a week do I have to work out? Well, I'll tell you what. I decided not to do that typical thing that I always tend to do, which is just jump in with both feet and with no concern for burnout, which is a real issue for me. It's not the working out part. I absolutely enjoy working out. I always say that once I get myself inside the door of the gym, it's on. Because really what I hate is the idea that I'd be wasting my time and not doing it the right way and putting the work in but not getting the results. So that's just terrible, in my mind. You're not as physically fit as you want to be when you go into this. So sometimes working out, 3 or 4 times a week. The rule of thumb is three hours a week. They want you to work out for 3 hours a week when you get to be 55, and that will sometimes get it done. A lot of people put in 7 days a week and never lose the weight, and that's what I'm really trying to avoid. So to start with, I wanted to get my fasting down without the pressure of having to worry about the energy that it takes to work out. In other words, in the past, I have tried to fast and found myself just starving because I was trying to do too much activity for those calories to support. And so my trainer even agreed with me, which was ironic because ultimately that cost him money, but he was real with me about it. He's like, okay, let's do this. It's like, let's get you a week or 2 in and let's see what's happening with your energy level. Now, ironically, and this is the part that the extended fast, it's so counterintuitive, but the way it worked for me was the very first time that I fasted 16 hours, the very first time, I got some sort of weird focus happening. My clarity just came up. And I just suspect what that was, is that the sugar was having time to get out of my body before I put more sugar in. And that really was what made the difference. And also, when I got to my time to eat, of course, I was fantasizing about having this big meal and thinking, oh God, this is going to be so great. I'm going to have a steak, blah, blah, blah. 3 or 4 bites into that steak, I'm like, geez, I'm kind of full. Now, I did go ahead and finish that steak, but I was thinking, I'm really, really not hungry at the end of this meal. And that brings us to the idea of the meal window. A lot of folks like to talk about a window of 4 to 5 hours in which they will eat. And in fact, all of these apps out there that you see on Facebook, the whole point of those apps is to monetize your fasting. Okay, so they'll say, you can eat. We'll just tell you when your window's open, that sort of thing. For me, the way I did it was, at first I started off by eating just one meal, and then maybe 2 hours later I'd have a small snack, whether I wanted it or not. Then I realized, hey, that snack, I'm just sort of eating it because, the trainer said it was okay. I wasn't really hungry for that snack, so I stopped eating that snack. Then I got to where I was just noticing the weight coming off really fast, feeling it in my clothes. I'm talking about the first week, guys. Literally, I had sensations of more energy and more focus the first day that I fasted. And by the third day, I was like, okay, well, I'm definitely losing weight. I can feel this in my clothes. So that's kind of crazy, And I never used one of those apps, spending $30 telling me, when to eat inside my window. And really, you could actually eat once a day and do it easily. Eat once a day, get full, eat what you want. The most you're going to eat, unless you're having some sort of crazy Applebee's salad or something, as I mentioned. Of course, those salads can get 2,200 calories or more. But the most you're probably going to eat would be 900 to 1,000, maybe 1,100 calories. In my case, I'll give you a little bit of the numbers here. I could have a 12-ounce ribeye steak with broccoli and coleslaw and still be well under 1,000 calories. So that would leave me full. That would leave me with a deficit of around 900 to 1,100 calories per day, depending on how active I was. And that food is completely gone by the time I consume anything else with calories in it. And my intuition says that this is the secret. Get empty. Get used to being empty because you actually feel good. We've been conditioned to put something in our mouth whenever we feel the slightest bit hungry, and that kind of keeps us in a semi-full state all the time so that we're not processing out that sugar. Now, there's a couple things that I allow myself, if I'm doing an 18-hour fast, there's a couple things I allow myself that I didn't want to talk about because they're basically little to no calories. And I don't consider that breaking the fast. Bone broth, pure protein, almost no calories in it. I'll do that if I get really hungry. If I'm only a little bit hungry and or bored, knowing I'm going to go home and watch TV like at 10 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night, I'll have Italian shaved ice, sugar-free, virtually no calories in that. So that's two things that I use to sort of break up the monotony of the fast, if I even think about it, if I'm feeling monotonous. But lots of times I don't, because I scheduled this so that I'm eating sometime between 12 noon and 4 o'clock. So I'm completely done eating by 5 o'clock. And I won't get hungry for 6 to 7 hours, like really, truly hungry, and not even super hungry then, because by that time you're thinking about going to bed and you just get into bed and you spend 7 to 8 hours of that fast sleeping. So it doesn't bother you at all. Now, I've started doing 24-hour fasts, and I want to talk about that just for a little bit because it increases your calorie deficit over time. So that instead of just being like a 900 calorie deficit on the day, you might end up as much as like 7,000 calorie deficit on the week. And that I do think is key to that fast weight loss. If you're looking for that melting effect where you just lose a pant size in a month, this is going to be your approach, because it increases your calorie deficit. I would definitely say that if there is a secret that you can put in just to a word or two for how to lose 30 pounds in 30 days, those words are calorie deficit. Most people can't hear that. They really can't. They're like, okay, so I should just cut back what I'm eating. Yes and no. It's about when you eat more than it is what you eat. At least that has been true for me. Now, just so you know what that means and how to get yourself there in a way that's not going to torture you, I do take some supplements. I take a product called GLP-1 Pro and a very, very clean protein. In fact, I think it's the cleanest protein I've ever been able to find. And I also take a men's daily pack multivitamin that basically it's 8 pills in a a single packet every day that just kind of gives you all the good stuff, your vitamin D, your omega oils, your CoQ10, I believe, and just some other stuff that make you feel good. And I will say, yesterday I forgot these and I didn't feel that great by the end of the day, and so I know it's making a big change in how I feel. And I got all those at Albemarle Nutrition, of course. But that's really what I'm doing right now. And inside of 35 days, I think it might have been more like 30 days, but I didn't weigh myself until day 35. I had lost exactly 30 pounds, give or take a point. I always say, don't let the scale defeat you, because the scale is not always accurate. That's the first thing. And also, like, the fluctuations of 4 to 5 pounds could just be what you drank, not actual calories. So I don't recommend weighing yourself more than once a month. I sincerely don't. For example, that 30 pounds, one had me losing 30 pounds slightly. Actually, one had me losing 31 pounds, one scale, and the other had me losing slightly, like a point or two under 30 pounds. So it's 30 pounds, right? Like, I'm not going to sit there and split hairs over a pound, which I could not eat one more hour and it'd be different, or go to the bathroom and it'd be different. So there's no point in stressing yourself out. So again, the first 2 weeks into the fast was just a tune-up to get my mind right. And then I started with was the first workout was a tune-up workout. Then after that, they're all hard workouts, and I mean full body workouts. I do have a leg day, but usually it's just a full body workout. And I go into that workout fasted between 22 and 25 hours, which means I'm completely ketogenic at that point. You can jumpstart your ketogenesis by just not eating for 24 hours. I mean, who knew? You don't have to like eat very, very little for like 3-4 days and suffer to get there like I used to do, apparently. But I go in there and I bust my tail lifting weights and carrying heavy stuff, and I'm burning fat for fuel, which I think is critical to kick-starting yourself into that burn mode. But the fasting and going in fasting when you work out, like, I can't stress that enough, how that has made my cardio come up faster, and I burnt more weight as a result of doing those workouts. So I'm doing one workout per week right now with the trainer, and it's like a super hard workout. Like, all I can do, like, our whole focus has been getting me to exhaustion within the first 15 minutes and then just pushing on. It's like fourth quarter, you know what I mean? Like, the game is almost over. If you push a little harder, you win. That psychology has gave me the best workouts. And then the next phase of the plan is for me to, on my own, at least 2 other days, go and do an hour of cardio and light weightlifting, just to have that burn session each of those days. I haven't actually done that yet, but that is my next phase. And of course, now I'm expecting not to lose like 30 pounds doing the same thing that I'm doing, but I'm really only 20 pounds away from that 300 mark. And at 300 mark, below 300, I can do things like jiu-jitsu and kickboxing without expecting to hurt myself. So the plan is to do whatever I got to do to move that next 20 pounds to get me below 300. And then I'm going to start jiu-jitsu, which I'm going to consider active play. It's not really like a focused workout, like you're doing some learning and then you're doing some grappling, but it's just an hour, a couple of times a week that you are doing things that generally burn extra calories in the evening. So that's kind of what I got going on, guys. And I did way more suffering trying to do it the old way that you're going to see in these videos that I'm about to share from my original series, The Power of 30 Days. The Power of 30 Days is a very real concept. It's just that at the time that I did it, I was 50 and I was training like I was 45. And believe you me, things change from 45 to 50. They always, fit people always talk about the ratio of like, it's this percent diet, it's this percent working out. And that definitely changes. I think anything over 40, I believe it's like 90% the diet, and or perhaps the amount of calories that you're taking in, and how you're working out. You know what I mean? Working out smarter, not harder. at least 22 minutes or so, you're going to be in a burn zone. If you can work that long, even with low impact cardio like walking, you're going to stay in that burn zone for a period of time. And this is a little bit of like throwing together a hodgepodge of things that I have learned in the past from various trainers. But I would say another thing with regards to selecting a trainer, make sure that you pick a trainer that is like you somewhat. The worst trainer, actually, my wife and I both went and took the training to be a licensed trainer, a certified trainer, and what we realized really quickly is that whole licensure thing is really just a joke. Basically, all they're teaching you is that you're not a dietitian, you're not a physician, you're not a they had so many things that you're not this, you're not that, and that makes me realize that the times that I tried to ask one of my trainers at Gauls, bless her heart, she was certified, well, what should I do for that? Oh, well, just try not to eat as much. She's not a dietitian. And they really trained you to say that instead of giving like good advice like, hey, well, you got to burn more than you eat, than you consume, but they won't do any of that now. Now, I'm not talking about my trainer. As far as I know, he's not even certified, but he has found what works for him and he is living the example. To me, that's a whole lot more important than a piece of paper that says you're a certified trainer. That means you're going to tell me, you can't tell me this, that you need to go see a dietitian, you need to go see a physician, you need to go see a calisthenics or a nutritionist and all this. That's not, I'm a pragmatist first, guys. I am about getting it done. And, I am always, just a few more days and I'll be at the 60-day mark. And my goal at a minimum, whether I keep losing weight or not, is to do this intermittent fasting for 1 year's time. And I'm already at day 46. And I'm going to see what this does to my body over time. At least now, I have a bit of momentum that is moving me in the right direction. I'm super excited about that. And if you guys think you would like to participate, I'd be happy to field any questions you had about what's working for me. Of course, you can always message me on Facebook. You can email me through my website, brentbowers.com. You can email us through the Album on Nutrition website, albumonnutrition.com. Come in, talk to Nancy, find out about the supplements that I'm using. None of this is a secret. At the end of the day, you don't really have to spend anything. I calculated yesterday that if I ate steak every day, and I ate out at a restaurant for every meal, based on how I'm doing at one meal a day, I could feed myself for $233 a week. Eating steak, I'm not going to eat steak every day, guys. So it's cheaper and greater calorie deficit with that one meal. For me, I have eliminated largely, unless something's going on. Like yesterday, I wasn't feeling great, so I did have a window of about 4 or 5 hours. Still met my calorie requirement, still meeting my fast requirement today of 18 hours. But I would say in general, I have that one meal. If I have it at the right time, particularly between say 12 and 4, I'm not super hungry again until the next day, and it makes it very, very easy. But like $233 to feed yourself like high quality nutrition that's served to you on a plate, with or without condiments, made to your liking, no dishes to wash, $233. That's pretty cheap. Now I realize some of you potentially can't afford that just for one person. And I would say if you took that same diet of a steak, we're just using steak as the example, guys. Obviously, I know you're not going to eat steak every day. You shouldn't. Steak and or chicken, I would imagine that you could feed yourself for less than $100 a week easily. Broccoli, chicken, a little bit of coleslaw, something like that, not too calorie dense. And a protein of your choice, salmon, chicken, or steak, $100 a week. That's not bad. That's before you get into any of the supplementation, of course. Like I said, the supplementation not necessary, just makes it easier, just makes you feel better. But if losing weight's important to you, hit us up and keep watching my journey. Stay tuned for the Power of 30 Days Redux. Now that we've actually got it working, it only took me 5 years to figure this out, but I'm happy to share it with you guys. God bless. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. This time, we're taking a look at a weight loss diary.
Ooh, a diary?
Yeah. This person, they lost a whole 30 pounds in 35 days.
Wow.
Using intermittent fasting and calorie counting.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So we've got their diary,
Uh-huh.
a ton of research.
Okay.
And we're going to separate the hype from the reality here and see what actually works.
Yeah, I'm excited because their diary, it's full of like ups and downs and cheat meals.
Oh, nice.
They talk about the supplements they used and their whole exercise routine.
Interesting. So it's like a real person's journey, not just the
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
perfect ending.
Exactly. So let's just start with like intermittent fasting or IF. What is it? How does it even work?
So basically, if it's all about cycling between eating and not eating for a good while,
Yeah.
and when you do that, you force your body to burn fat for fuel instead of just relying on glucose.
Okay. Interesting. And this diarist, they just went all in.
Yeah.
They started with 16-hour fasts and then like pushed it to 18 hours and even did some 24 to 26-hour fasts.
Whoa,
That's intense, right?
that's hardcore.
Yeah.
It really shows commitment. And a big thing they emphasized in the diary was consistency. They said at least 45 days
Oh, wow.
to let your body adapt to this new way of eating.
Okay, so that's the fasting part.
Hmm.
But what about the food? What were they eating?
Well, here's where it gets interesting. No crazy restrictions.
Okay.
They're just focused on protein and veggies.
Yeah.
Allow themselves occasional treats, and they specifically cut out sugar every day.
Makes sense.
And those carbonated drinks.
Oh, yeah, those are sneaky.
Yeah, they're calorie bombs.
Oh, and speaking of calorie, I saw in the diary they talked about getting a healthy salad at a restaurant,
Oh, yeah.
but it was over 2,200 calories.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. So
Yeah.
even if you're eating healthy,
Yeah.
you got to watch those calories.
Exactly.
Okay.
You've got to pay attention to that calorie count
Yeah.
because ultimately it's all about being in a calorie deficit.
That's true.
You have to burn more than you consume.
Okay, so where does exercise fit into all of this?
Well, the diarist eased into it. The first 2 weeks were all about adapting to fasting. So no structured exercise.
Okay, so letting their body adjust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And after week 2,
Yeah, week 3, they started getting more intense.
okay.
They aimed for 1 heavyweight training session per week, and ideally in a fasted state.
To burn more fat.
Right, to really tap into those fat reserves. And they even mentioned hitting the gym after a 22-hour fast,
Whoa.
trying to reach that ketogenic state where your body's just burning fat for fuel.
Wow. I don't know if I could do that. But it wasn't all about those super intense workouts, was it?
No. They did 2 cardio sessions a week as well,
Okay.
aiming for at least 3 hours of exercise total.
So like a good mix.
Yeah, a good mix.
Intense workouts plus just being active.
And they plan to build up even more through sports and being more active in general.
Okay. So what about supplements? I saw they were taking a few different things.
Yes, they were taking this thing called a GLP-1 Pro supplement. Have you heard of that?
GLP-1 Pro? I don't think so. What is
Yeah.
that? So it's a type of medication that mimics a natural hormone, GLP-1.
Okay.
And this hormone, it helps regulate your blood sugar and your appetite.
Interesting.
And some research suggests it can help you lose weight by making you feel fuller and reducing cravings.
So it's not like just some random weight loss thing.
No, it has some science behind it.
Interesting. And they also used a clean protein supplement and a men's multi-pack vitamin,
Oh, wow.
which included vitamin D and omega oils.
They were really thorough.
It seems like they're covering all their bases.
Yeah, it's a comprehensive approach. But always a good idea to talk to your doctor before starting any new supplements, just to make sure they're right for you.
Good advice. So how did this diarist keep track of their progress? Were they like obsessed with the scale?
Not really. They
No?
kept it simple weigh-ins every 30 to 35 days,
Okay.
noted how their clothes were fitting,
Uh-huh.
paid attention to their energy and hunger cues.
So they're really focused on the big picture.
Exactly, not just the number on the scale.
I love that. So we've covered like the basics of their IF routine, but what I think is really cool is their mindset. This wasn't just some quick diet. They were making a change to their lifestyle.
Absolutely. They were aiming for a full year of consistent intermittent fasting.
Wow.
They saw it as a long-term commitment to their health.
Yeah.
And they even talked about transitioning to a maintenance phase after hitting those initial weight loss goals.
It's that long-term vision that really makes a difference with weight loss.
I think so.
And they had these aha moments.
So yeah,
They realized they felt full much quicker after a fast.
interesting.
So they started with smaller portions.
Makes sense.
And they realized their initial weight loss would be faster because they had more weight to lose.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest takeaway was
Yeah, was it?
that calorie deficit that we
Yeah.
talked about.
That's the key. It's the underlying principle behind their results. They understood that no matter what method you use,
Uh-huh.
you have to create a consistent calorie deficit.
Right.
And that forces your body to use those fat stores.
This is where their diary gets really interesting. They even talk about their mom and how her health challenges inspired them to prioritize their own well-being.
Wow, that's so powerful.
And it adds a whole new layer to their journey.
Absolutely. That kind of motivation, when it comes from personal values, that can be incredibly powerful. It's not just about fitting into a smaller size.
Right.
It's about taking control of your health and just living a more fulfilling life.
Wow, what a start to our deep dive.
I know, right?
We've uncovered so much already, but we're just getting started. Stay tuned as we go even deeper into the world of intermittent fasting and find out what we can learn from this person's journey about weight loss health and the power of consistent effort.
I'm ready for more. So welcome back to our deep dive into intermittent fasting. Let's get back to this diarist's journey. One thing that really stuck out to me was how honest they were about the mental challenges.
Yeah.
At first they thought they'd be like miserable and hungry all the time while fasting,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like that at all.
Right. They talk about how quickly they felt full after breaking a fast.
Yeah, and that actually makes sense. There's research out there showing that our hunger cues, they don't always match up with what our body actually needs.
Interesting, especially as you're getting used to a new way of eating.
Exactly. It's like their body and brain were finally on the same page.
Yeah, and they even started extending their fasts.
Oh, wow.
Going from 16 hours to 18 and even up to like 26, 27 hours.
And they didn't feel like they were depriving themselves.
Yeah, and they were really open about their struggles in the past too, like yo-yo dieting and just feeling frustrated.
Yeah.
And they talked about how certain foods really messed with their progress,
Which foods?
like sugar and carbonated drinks.
Ugh. Yeah, those can be tough.
They said this really threw them off track.
Yeah, I think that honesty is really refreshing
Yeah.
and relatable. You know,
Yeah,
weight loss, it's not always a straight line up.
definitely not.
You know, there are bumps along the way.
Mm.
And I think acknowledging that makes the whole experience feel more normal.
Yeah, it's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about their experience with exercise in a fasted state.
Yeah, they specifically mentioned those intense weight training sessions after like 24 hours of fasting.
Right. That's where personal preference and research don't always agree.
Okay.
Some studies show that fasted workouts might help you burn more fat, but it's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
Some people might find it hurts their performance, while others do great.
It seems like this diarist found what worked for them, and they were smart about it.
Yeah.
Gradually increasing the intensity, starting with one hard workout a week,
Yeah.
then adding 2 cardio sessions and planning to do even more from there.
That's the key. It's about finding a sustainable rhythm,
Yeah.
something your body can adapt to.
I also thought it was interesting how they talked about getting lean before getting super fit.
Right.
They said in the past they'd focus only on exercise and not really pay attention to their diet.
It's a common mistake.
Yeah.
Exercise is super important, but when it comes to weight loss, diet is the main thing.
That's true. You can't outrun a bad diet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this diarist, they got it. They focused on that calorie deficit
Yeah.
through fasting and mindful eating.
Right. Before they really ramped up the exercise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about all the pieces working together.
And their motivation is really inspiring.
Yeah.
They talked about wanting to improve their overall health and quality of life, especially after seeing their mom go through those health challenges.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about how you look.
Right.
It's about taking care of yourself and staying healthy.
Their commitment to a full year of intermittent fasting was really impressive.
Yeah, they're in it for the long haul.
Yeah. They see it as a lifestyle change, not just a temporary thing.
It's a whole new way of thinking about it.
And they had this great analogy about how eating something bad affects them differently now compared to when they were younger.
What do you mean?
They said it hits them harder.
Oh, really?
In their stomach, their face, like everywhere.
Wow.
It's like their body just doesn't bounce back the same way anymore.
That's a really vivid way to put it.
Yeah. It shows how our bodies change as we get older.
Right. Metabolism slows down.
Yeah.
And those not so great food choices, they can really have a bigger impact.
So we've really gotten into the details of this person's journey.
Yeah, we have.
The ups, the downs, the strategies, the mindset shifts.
It's been fascinating.
Well, what does it all mean for our listeners?
Right. How can they use this information?
Exactly. How can they apply these insights to their own lives?
I think what we've done here is give everyone a real-world example of how intermittent fasting can work.
Yeah, like a case study.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've seen the potential benefits, but also how important it is to personalize the approach.
Right. It's not one size fits all.
Exactly. But of course, one person's success doesn't mean everyone will get the same results.
Right.
It's about taking inspiration from this story
Yeah, learning from it.
learning from it, and then figuring out how to make it work for you.
It's about giving you the knowledge
Exactly.
so you can make informed decisions.
Yes, about your own health journey.
We're not done yet, though.
No, we're not.
In the final part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
we're going to zoom out
Well,
and
plus,
look at the bigger picture.
I like it.
Let's dive into the science behind intermittent fasting.
Okay.
Are there any risks?
Good question.
And what about long-term sustainability?
Let's find out.
Okay. Deep divers, time to get scientific. We've seen how IF worked for one person, but what does the research say? What's the science behind all of this?
Well, the research is still ongoing, but it's looking pretty good for more than just weight loss.
Really?
Yeah, studies have shown that IF can improve insulin sensitivity, lower blood pressure, even some potential benefits for brain health.
Wow, so it's not just about losing weight, it could actually improve your overall health.
Exactly.
Right.
But just like any health approach, there can be some downsides.
Okay,
Some people might experience things like headaches, fatigue, or trouble concentrating, especially when they're first starting out.
so like a bit of an adjustment period?
Yeah, exactly. Like your body's recalibrating.
Makes sense. Any advice for minimizing those side effects?
Well, if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, have a history of eating disorders or certain medical conditions, definitely talk to your doctor before trying IF.
Okay, good advice.
It's not for everyone. And for those side effects, starting slow and gradually increasing your fasting time can really help.
So ease into it.
Exactly.
Our diarist didn't mention working with a doctor. Do you think that's something people should consider before starting IF?
Absolutely. Having a doctor or a registered dietitian on board is always a good idea, especially for something like IF. They can help you personalize your approach, track your progress, and make sure it's safe and effective for you.
So personalized guidance is key.
Definitely.
What about sustainability? We know our diarist was all about long-term commitment. What makes IF stick? How do you make it a part of your life?
Consistency is key. Remember how they said to stick with it for at least 45 days?
Yeah.
Well, research shows that's really important. Long-term adherence is what gets you those IF benefits.
So it's about building a habit, not just a quick fix.
Exactly. And don't forget the mental side of things. Our diarists definitely face some challenges.
Any tips for staying motivated?
Having a good support system is huge. Friends, family, online communities. Having people who understand and encourage you can make all the difference.
That's true.
And celebrate your wins, no matter how small.
Yeah.
That can help you stay on track. And remember, be kind to yourself. It's okay to slip up.
Yeah.
It's about progress, not perfection.
That's a good reminder. As we wrap up our deep dive into intermittent fasting, let's leave our listeners with one final thought. Our diarist set a goal of a full year of consistent IF. They believed it could transform their health and well-being. What could you achieve with a year of dedicated effort towards your own health goals?
Something to think about, right?
Imagine the possibilities: weight management, better fitness, improved sleep, whatever it is that contributes to your well-being.
Small, consistent actions over time, they can really make a difference.
And don't forget the power of a good diary, just like our diarist.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It can help you track your progress, reflect on your journey, and stay motivated.
It's a great tool.
So that wraps up our deep dive into intermittent fasting. We've explored personal experiences, scientific insights, and practical tips. We hope you enjoyed the ride and learned something new. Until next time, keep those brains hungry for knowledge and those bodies moving towards a healthier you. See you next time.